It's tempting to conclude, from the abundance of videos depicting the fighting around in Kursk Oblast in western Russia, that explosive first-person view drones are responsible for knocking out the majority of the armored vehicles Russian forces have lost, while counterattacking the 250-square-mile salient that Ukrainian troops have occupied in western Russia's Kursk Oblast since August. But that conclusion may be wrong. FPV drones feed live video to their operators, so there's ample evidence of their strikes. But that evidence belies the reality on the ground in Kursk, if not elsewhere in Russia's wider war on Ukraine. That reality is that anti-tank missile teams, not drone operators, are responsible for many of the hits on the Russian vehicles that have been attacking in Kursk since November 7th. It's very funny to see how everyone thinks that FPVs rule the way, wrote Kriegsforscher, a Ukrainian Marine Corps drone operator in Kursk, whose team helps defend the western edge of the salient. In 2 days of Russian assaults ending on Thursday, the Russian 237th Guards Airborne Assault Regiment lost 17 armored vehicles in Kriegsforscher's sector. Most of them were immobilized by mines or anti-tank guided missiles, such as the American-made Javelin or the Ukrainian Stugna-P. Only after that, FPV drones started working, Kriegsforscher noted. The tiny drones, hauling just a few pounds of explosives over a distance of a few miles, are better for finishing off stranded vehicles than they are at doing the actual stranding. In general, I see that approximately 10 to 15% of armored vehicles were destroyed by FPVs. I mean during the move, Kriegsforscher noted. The Russians have lost around 100 vehicles in a 4-square-mile patch of Kursk, around the hamlet of Zeleny Shylak, and just in the past few weeks as they've escalated their attacks on the Ukrainian salient. For all their increasing sophistication and the growing skill of their operators, Ukraine's FPV drones, which the country builds at a rate of more than 1 million a year, still lack the destructive power of a 1990s vintage Javelin ATGM. In terms of sheer explosive firepower, a 35-pound Javelin is equivalent to a dozen FPV drones. And in the hands of an ATGM team from one of Ukraine's notoriously bloodthirsty air assault brigades, a Javelin might be even more lethal. That missiles still outshoot drones in Kursk despite the greater visibility of the latter over the former is yet another reminder that, in mechanized warfare as in many things, looks can be deceiving. Ukrainian defenders have leveraged their knowledge of the terrain to establish layer defenses, channeling Russian advances into kill zones where concentrated firepower, utilizing artillery and drones, can be deployed with devastating effect. Ukrainians have also capitalized on the exhaustion and disorganization inherent in the Russian strategy by targeting exposed soldiers during their movement across open terrain or ravines, and by using drones to disrupt and demoralize enemy units. The defenders have inflicted heavy casualties. Reports indicate Russian losses in the area reached 50 to 70 killed, and an equal number of wounded in this area alone. Such attrition significantly undermines the momentum of the Russian advance. Ukrainian forces have not remained passive. Instead, they have conducted local counterattacks to exploit windows of opportunity created by overextended Russian units. For example, Ukrainian tank units, including T-72B1s, have been deployed to target enemy positions and disrupt Russian attempts to consolidate gains near Shevchenko. Geolocated footage shows how they target Russian positions in houses and tree lines, successfully eliminating the enemy. Another interesting video from the vicinity of Novotroitsk shows how Ukrainians destroyed another Russian infantry group by targeting it with mortars and then with grenades. In the end, we can see the pivotal role of a Bradley infantry fighting vehicle, which is used to destroy a bridge to hinder Russian mobility and cut the enemy from receiving additional support. Ukrainian drones, including FPV kamikaze models and Vampire hexacopters, have been instrumental in these counterattacks. Their ability to strike precise targets, including Russian vehicles and infantry, has turned the tide in several engagements. This active defensive posture prevents Russian forces from achieving their objectives and imposes further costs on the attackers, pumping up their already significant losses. Overall, while the Russian push continues, the heavy toll on their personnel and equipment raises questions about the sustainability of their offensive. Smaller Russian assault groups of 10 soldiers, a tactical adaptation to high losses, have been largely ineffective against Ukraine's proactive defense, marked by adaptive tactics and localized counterattacks, which have steadily undermined Russian advances and diminished their chances of encircling Pokrovsk. Their efforts underscore the importance of morale and leadership, highlighted by President Zelensky's recent visit to the region. By personally thanking the defenders and reviewing the construction of new defensive lines, Zelensky reinforced the resolve of Ukrainian forces to hold the line against overwhelming odds. This visit symbolizes both the strategic and symbolic significance of Pokrovsk in the ongoing war.